You can add your very own personal touch to an upcoming art installation. Cleo from Arts One Presents is here to share more. Hey, Cleo, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me. And I would be remiss, I do have to wish my father a happy birthday.
Oh,
happy
he
birthday.
is
Right off the top.
Friday, the January 13th baby, so this is not bad luck, it's good luck. So
Yes.
happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Pops.
I'm not often on TV on his birthday.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
Shout out.
What an
awesome.
opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was excited. I didn't tell him that I was going to be on here. So.
Well, tell us about Arts One Presents and what you do, how you fit into our community here.
Absolutely. Arts One Presents is emerging arts nonprofit in Springdale. We've been around for about a year now, so Springdale is starting to feel like home.
Oh, yeah.
And we work both in visual arts and performing arts such as theater, and it is our mission to empower artists, enrich businesses, and engage the community. And we really believe in the transformative power of art. So we're constantly trying to figure out what are barriers that are keeping people from creating visual art or auditioning for the theater or going to the theater, and we're figuring out how to break those down.
Yeah, I love that. Quilting, something that you're doing.
Yes.
It's art as well, right? Tell us about that.
It's a really fun. It's an art and a craft, and it was something that I started to notice when I was during COVID lockdown. Right, I was living in a house by myself, and kind of like we were talking about before, we just had so many quilts around,
Sure.
and things were cold, and I would wrap up, and then I'd think, my grandma made this, and I have no clue about it, and it's not only a craft of hard skill and handwork, but it's also this work of art. There's decision making, there's beauty, and this is a craft that's passed down from generation to generation to generation. And so that's something that since COVID was just kind of sitting in my mind of, I don't know much about it, I'd love to learn. And even looking outward to our diverse Northwest Arkansas community, there are kind of those rural Ozarkan traditions of grandmas who quilt, but there are also many different communities who may not have quilting as their tradition, but definitely have their own textile-based, material-based weaving that is both taught from generation to generation, handed down, but also takes really interesting and good like hand skills and craft work, and then on the art side, really interesting design choices. So you both have this functionality like a quilt of it keeps you warm, it keeps you comforted, a basket holds things, but on the art side there's something that's beautiful, and they provide more value than just like the monetary cost or value of a blanket or a container.
Yeah, and you're looking for people to contribute, to be a part of this project, that's right?
Yes.
How do we find details on that? How do we do that?
Yes, absolutely. So the project, have y'all ever heard of barn quilts?
No.
Okay, so you haven't heard of them, but I'm sure you've seen them. If driving around Northwest Arkansas or even in the countryside, there are these large 8x8 wooden panels with really bright geometric designs.
Okay, yes.
Right, okay, so that is a truly American public art movement called the barn quilt movement, and it's very much inspired by your grandmother's quilt blocks. And so these people would take quilt blocks that have been passed down in their family and paint them onto pieces of wood, using like bright colors, geometric designs, and they'd place them on their barn or their home and roadside, and not only to say, this is our place, but this is who we are. So I was really inspired by barn quilts, kind of intersection of place and identity. But again, not everybody has a quilt tradition. So Arts One Presents is looking to expand and modernize the barn quilt tradition to include the diverse communities in Springdale and the greater Northwest Arkansas. And so we want to get these craftspeople to apply, to submit images of their portfolios, and we will select 4 participants to paint a barn quilt that is representative of their traditional craft, of their community, and their identity and place.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Well, how do they apply?
That's a great question. So you can go to artsonepresents.org, and on our main page you will see some buttons for more information, the more formal call for qualifications where the artist can see what we want from them, what we're asking from them, and we are going to pay our participants $2,500 as well as supply them the materials and supplies for creation and installation.
Yeah.
And so there will be a big apply now button. I'm very excited. We've been able to get this information translated into Spanish and Marshallese just to
great.
break
Perfect.
down those barriers of language, because these are the, beautiful community members that make Northwest Arkansas this rich
That's right.
quilt or tapestry,
Yeah.
right? And so, so they can go to our website and apply.
Awesome. Yeah, you saw it right there on your screen. We'll